Today's Shiur going to be on Hilchas Edus, Perokim, Halacha Aleph, and discuss the psul of Rishoyim in Edus. And so the Rambam starts off telling us, Rishoyim psulim le'edus v'naterish nem al tosas yapchem rosh elias eid chons. That's what the pasuk says. Even though it doesn't say that, but we sort of rearrange the words in the psukim to make that the meaning. As we'll see where the makar of that comes. And then he goes on to say, "Vafila eid kosher, sheyedeya b'chaveri shuhu rosha, ve'ein hadayonim makirim rishay." Right? Osur loy lahoyid imay. Cannot testify. Avabishu edus emes. True witnesses, true edus. In other words, if you have a rosh and you need another aid, you can't bring him along. Nation mitzaref imay. What's the problem? Because you connect with him. V'nim tzazeh kosher. He put himself with his hand together with the Russia, and till the Edus of the Russia was niskabel, his Edus was niskabel. And that's it. And he goes right to that's the main. Where do we get this source? Where did the Rambam pick this up? The Mipnashul Lamda Tashas Rasha Aid. So there are a couple of sources. Here's the Mechilta, the Rabbi Shmuel, Mishpatim. It says there Abnosan Aim Al Tashas Yodcha. Al Tashas Chamos Aid. Don't make a Chamos an Aid. Loitzi, what does that teach you? Achamsonim, Sagazlonim, Shemsul Aidis. Nemal Yokum Aid Chamos Bish. And then, when I see something like Kashazama, it's like really making a brush and all of psukim and everything else. The makar of this halacha that you shouldn't do this is in Shmuz, Naf Lamed, Lamed Beis, Lamed Aleph, Lamed Aleph. There's a Brisa, and the Brisa doesn't use this limud that the Rambam uses. There it says, Minayin l'dayin, shliasa sanigurin, sanigoyin, that they shouldn't become a lawyer, we shouldn't try to help. And you shouldn't let an Amoritz be a part of his circle of judges. Now, he knows his friend is a gadol, and the age nicely starve him. You shouldn't combine it. So a different pasuk. Rambam brings Altoshus Yodchen Rasha, Altoshus Rasha Aid, and he brings Mitvajachet Derech. And then the Gemara goes on and on to learn things from the Vasheket there. Now, what's wrong being Mitzar V'Imay Aid? What's the Sheker Shebedava? Rashi says because the Eidus is not an Eidus. And you can end up with Apsak through two Eidim that it's not really two, it's only one. Because the Gazlan is not an Eid. But the Rambam's Lashon is not like that. The Rambam's Lashon is because you are making an Eidus of him. We'll get there. Okay, so let's deal with the issues that are here and try to resolve them. First of all, the Kesemish is Kash. Why didn't he bring the Gemara? The Mishnah asks, why does he go to Mechil? He doesn't ask that way, but basically, why does he look for some far out pshat which doesn't fit? He can bring it back. And the Mechilta is hard. In order to make a lav, an iser, a psul of Chamsan and Gazlan. Because there's no pasuk that says it, there's no clear pasuk. And then we had the that Rashi says there's no Edus. The Rambam seems to say it is an Edus. I mean, that would seem. Does he mean it? I don't know, but that's what it seems. Use a lush in the skable do so. Yeah. Now, the Gemara talks about a case. A guy knows that his chaver is a goblin, a rasha. Could he use him for an aid? What about the guy knows the guy is a korim, and nobody else knows about it? Could he use him as an aid? Why did there be such a case? Why did the shaila only in the case of a rosh? And not only that, according to Rambam, in the case of rosh, who says that it is? The pasuk talks only about rosh. Altos is rosh. Don't put your hand with a rosh. Rashi, it's the same issue, but according to Rambam, it's not. Also, the Gemara in Shvus sounds like a mixture of halachas put under the heading of a Vasheket here. And the Rambam quotes some of those halachas. And that the Gemara brings there, the sugyas in different places. But it's strange. It's strange. So many different halachas learn from the same thing. And this halacha, according to the Gemara, is also learned that you can't join with a postulate. In halacha dalid, right? Yesham Risham Shem Sum Leidis Abapi Shehem B'nei Tashlumin. They can pay back. They ain't B'nei Malchus. They don't get Malchus. So Pashat Eit Chamas is a guy who gets Malchus. Ayil v'loik chemamen sheina shalahem b'chamas psulim. And what's that psul? Shenem ki yokem eit chamas bish. V'naganovim chamsanim avishi hizir. Even though you pay back the money, pasul leidis meisha gana v'gazel from the time. Now, there are many who ask, drive it. Or was the Kesemish? Somebody has this question. And he answers that maybe because it was through Kvi. Yeah, the tour in Hilchos Edus. Asks on the Rambam. I don't know what the Rambam wants. Why? If you pay back the money, he's no good. He says because he didn't give back. You didn't give him B'ritzaina. You gave it because he was forced. Yosef doesn't agree with him. That if he was forced, the Rambam doesn't have to say it. And he says even if he paid it back, you need to do tshuva. The Bach, on the other hand, takes on the side of the tour. Okay. So let's get the picture here in the Rambam. According to the tour, when you pay at your will, that's considered tshuva. That's why the Bach explains that. And the only time the Rambam says halacha is when he's forced. However, there are cases where even if you pay back, it won't be enough because it's very amen to fall back onto it, and then you need a tshuva. And another halacha they want to say is that if somebody just stole once, and even though the return was through kviya, it's going to be good. And that's what the Ramon also passes. But the Beis Yosef, clear, Shulchan Aruch. Raganim and Gazlim Sulam LaEdis Me'esha Gana V'Gazel Abba Bisha Zira Rachi Tshuva. That's what he says clear. You need to do tshuva, otherwise it doesn't help. And that's where he learned Shat Neram. Sif Chavtes, but any other Psule Edish and Psule Meshumamin Shechamsa Shegoz Lav Bisha Shom Utzichem Tshuva. Achi Voda Shechozer B'Midar Kara. And it doesn't make differences once, twice, 100 times. Doesn't speak about it. And obviously, the fact that the Rambam doesn't give any conditions would sound like the Beis Yosef. So how do we explain all this? Or perhaps this can be answered with an understanding of this psul of Russia. Chavis Yoyer has a shayla, famous shayla. If Reuven asks Levi that he should testify against Shimon, true Edus, and Levi knows the only one, Levi, the guy who's asking to testify, knows that he is possible for any reason, and he gives cases being a karev, or that he's an aveira, or that he has an negia, but nobody else knows. Bezin doesn't know. And then he goes further. And in the case that he did it machmas aveira, it's even a bigger shy. Because what can he do? He can't admit. We don't believe him. Is he required to testify? That's where he wants to go. If you know, are you allowed to testify? The Tumim makes a difference between Karev and Pos and Rosh. Sorry, Karev and Rosh. Rosh, why isn't the Rosh allowed to testify? He says it's not really a psul or goof. You're not possible. It's not a gzeiras hamela milita, but we don't trust him. Crave him is a gzeiras hamela because they can be the most honest people, most reliable people. Too bad. So a karev cannot be an aid, but a apostle that's possible only because he's a Rosh and he knows it's true. He can testify like the Tumim. Why shouldn't he testify? Chavis Yair seems to hold that it's that Psul Karev and Psul Rosh are the same. But maybe not without Bez. That's what he said. Tumim, Psul Rosh is not a Psul Aguf. So we're starting to see that Psul Rosh may be a little different than the others. So I want to suggest another approach based on the Ha'aras we had before on the Rambam. I don't think the Rambam agrees that a Rosh is not is any less possible, but its psul comes from a different aspect. It comes from the fact that there's a law for him to testify. Al toshes Rosh Eid. That creates the psul. The Isser creates the psul. Wow. So we've spoken many times. I don't know if I said it here, but definitely came up, of course, at some point. But there's a lot discussed about this. That Edus is a chiddush of the Torah. The Rambam uses the famous lashon that Nilchus say that Torah, that the Torah told us lachtei chadav b'shnayim edim v'avabishenu yodim edim emes. We don't know if it's true or not. It's exeris sakos. And the same thing you compare to listening to a novel. So the Torah makes an isser to have some aid. There's no exeris sakos of edus on it. Karev, the Torah says, is not an aid because he doesn't have the exeris sakos. That's not an edus. A Russia is an aid etzem. That's maybe an aid. But the Torah gives a law that he shouldn't do that. So that's not the exeris sakos that he has, that he's believed. So that's why the Rambam looks, and that's why the Mechilta looks for a law, because the only way it's not. The Masheket Tirchak won't be. It has to be a law. Al Toshis Rosh Eid. That's an Isser, a special Isser in Eidus. The Masheket Tirchak won't help us for this. If it's only Chashash Sheker, will not make a psul that there's no Gzeres HaKosa, because it's a general Isser, general Indian of Sheker. Here we're talking about an Isser in Eidus. It's an Isser in Eidus. It's an Gzeres HaKosa in Eidus. And that's why the Mechilta goes to such extremes to explain that there's a law of Al Toshis Yot Chavrosh. And that's what the Rambam says, Akosha Heishis Yodei Marosh against Kabbalah Dusai. He's stressing the Isser Shabbat. That's what the psul is. Doesn't mean that his Edus is good, but you're causing this Isser to happen. And that's why there's no shaila about Karev. Karev is no Edus. There's no Edus. Karev is no Edus. They don't know, wouldn't know, doesn't matter. Oh, by apostle, there might be a svara, and since it's a psul machmas iser, and nobody knows that it's osir, and Bezdin is not being over any iser, so maybe that's not that doesn't lose the gzeres hakosir. Bezdin can be chayter chadin up it. So he says no. That's no good. Still no good. So that could be that shot. Even if you gave back the gzela, you're still not good till you do tshuva. Because once you've been taken out of the gzeres hakosa of Edus, you need to get back into the gzeres hakosa of Edus. And how will that be? As the Rambam writes in the tshuva, it has to be ke'ilu lechata la'elam, or like he's a new person. Otherwise, he's out. He's a big kiddush. So the bottom line, the Rambam Rasha is different than Karev or other psulim. Because not a psul in the person. It's a psul isser. Because an isser to take on his edus. And this isser takes him out of the gzeres hakos of edus. Could be based on that, even in the Chavos Yair's case, doesn't matter that he knows it's true. Because that's not what Edus is about. Edus is about Gzeres HaKosu. And he can't create that Gzeres HaKosu. Because he doesn't have that koyach of Edus in him. Okay, so I think that will explain the sugya pretty well. Anyway, Atzlocha Rabbah.